Are your writing skills weak? Have you never taken a standardized test before? Do you struggle to write clear, well-structured sentences? If you answered yes to at least one of these questions, this video is for you. Hello everyone, and welcome to our first episode of our IELTS for Beginners series. This series is primarily aimed at students whose English level is between A2 and B1, although it can also be useful for those with a higher level. The goal of this video is to show you that you can start preparing for the IELTS, even if your English is not yet at a B2 or C1 level. In fact, IELTS preparation is not as difficult as it may seem, and it can even be fun if you approach it the right way. In this video, we'll talk about the IELTS writing section, focusing specifically on writing task 2. This is the task where you are asked to write an essay. In front of you, there is a sample prompt taken from the official Cambridge Prep books. It says, in many countries nowadays, consumers can go to a supermarket and buy food produced all over the world. Do you think this is a positive or negative development? We'll follow 3 simple steps: understanding, planning, and writing. Let's start with the first step, understanding. At this stage, you need to break down some of the more difficult vocabulary in the task to make sure you understand exactly what it's asking. Nowadays means these days or now. Consumers are people who buy things. For example, consumers in a supermarket are people who go there to buy products. Simply put, they're buyers or people who buy things. To produce food means to grow food. So food produced all over the world means food that is grown in different countries around the world. A positive development means a good or beneficial change, while a negative development means a bad or harmful change. So all in all, the task is basically asking, in many countries these days, people can go to a supermarket and buy food made all over the world. Do you think this is a positive or negative change? Sounds easy, right? Again, let's review the vocabulary. I suggest you either write it down or try to remember it, as these are the words you'll often come across in IELTS writing and other sections. Nowadays, these days, now. Consumers, buyers. People who buy something. To produce food, to grow food. Development, change. Great. Now let's get to the second step, planning. At this stage, you need to plan your essay. Let's start with the introduction, which is the first part of your essay. Ask yourself 4 questions. First, what is the main topic of this task? Does it ask you about culture, learning languages, or traveling? No, it asks you about buying food in a supermarket. What kind of food? Food made all over the world. So you don't simply go to the supermarket and buy what is normally grown in your area. You can buy bananas from Ecuador, spices from India, coffee from Brazil, salmon from Norway, pasta from Italy, noodles from China, and so on. What do we call the process by which countries become more connected these days? Globalization. What kind of globalization is mentioned in the task? Globalization of information? No. Globalization of services? No. Globalization of food markets? Yes. The fact that you can go to a supermarket and find food from all over the world is a result of the globalization of food markets. Great. So the main topic of this task is the globalization of food markets. Second question, what does the task ask us? It asks, is the globalization of food markets a good change or a bad change? Third question, what is my opinion? We need to decide. Do you think it's a good change? I believe so. I know there will be those who say, no, it's a bad thing. And I can even partly agree with them. But let me give you one piece of advice. When you choose a side on the exam, do not overthink it. Choose the side that's easier for you to explain afterward. I think it's easier to say that the globalization of food markets is a good change. Last question, why do I think so? Well, you have more freedom, right? You can choose which fruit you want to buy. Imagine that at this time of year, only a limited number of fruits are grown locally. But because food is imported from other countries, you can still buy mangoes, kiwis, apricots, and so many other things. so you have more freedom of choice. Second, better quality. Indeed, if you only have one type of pasta, even if you make it badly, people will still buy it because there is not much choice. But when you have different types of pasta, including Italian pasta, for example, people start to compare prices and quality. So companies need to work harder to make prices lower and quality better. If they don't, people or consumers just won't buy from them, right? So globalization encourages competition. Simply put, it makes companies compete with each other more, which in turn can improve food quality. So we have two reasons: more freedom of choice and better quality. Well, now it's finally time for step 3, writing. When you first start writing, I suggest that you use a template. What is a template? It's a set of phrases that you can use in a similar way, so you don't need to spend too much time thinking about how to start your essay. For example, I suggest you start with this: the debate about has been growing in recent years. The question being asked is whether the fact that is beneficial or not. While some would disagree, I believe this trend is positive as, yes, some teachers will say that you shouldn't rely too much on templates, especially if you want to get a high score. And that is true. You should always adapt your introduction to the specific task and make sure you're actually answering the question. However, if you're just starting to learn how to write IELTS essays, a simple structure like this can be very helpful. It gives you a clear starting point, helps you make fewer mistakes, and means you don't have to waste time thinking about how to begin every single essay. After some time, as you become more confident, you might start changing the structure or writing without a template at all. I also try to keep this template relatively simple, so it's easier to use if you're still working on your grammar and writing skills. Now, let's learn how to use it correctly. You start by inserting your main topic in the first gap. You get the debate about the globalization of food markets has been growing in recent years. Then you need to paraphrase the task to fit it into the second gap. Consumers means buyers, or simply people. Let's use people for this one. To buy is the same as to purchase. These are synonyms. So instead of saying consumers buy, you can say people purchase. Food produced all over the world is the same as food grown all over the world, or food from all over the world. All over the world can be paraphrased as across the globe. Together we get people can purchase food from across the globe. And when I put it into a sentence, I can even add now. I get the question being asked is whether the fact that people can now purchase food from across the globe is beneficial or not. By the way, beneficial means good for someone or something. Finally, after the last sentence, I need to write down my 2 reasons. The first reason is that the globalization of food markets gives people more freedom of choice. The second reason is that it encourages competition, which can improve food quality. When I put it all together, I get, while some would disagree, I believe this trend is positive as it gives people more freedom of choice and encourages competition, which can improve food quality. All in all, we have the debate about the globalization of food markets has been growing in recent years. The question being asked is whether the fact that people can now purchase food from across the globe is beneficial or not. While some would disagree, I believe that this trend is positive as it gives people more freedom of choice and encourages competition, which can improve food quality. This is a well-written introduction, especially for those of you who are just starting to learn how to write. Please keep in mind that this template is good for positive and negative development questions. Not for every type of IELTS writing test too, but it can easily be changed to fit other essay types. I've recently been teaching several students with an average level of A2 to B1 who have the goal of taking IELTS in the future. And I need to tell you that this approach does wonders for their writing skills. The idea is that you don't start writing the entire essay straight away, but practice writing only introductions first, then conclusions, and finally body paragraphs. One skill at a time. As a result, one of my students is already writing full essays. with some of them scoring around 5.5 or sometimes even 6, which is not bad for someone who couldn't write even 2 sentences when we first started having lessons. I suggest that you do the same thing and test this approach yourself. And to help you with it, feel free to use our IELTS prep book, which is one of my favorite products so far. It's just so nice, so well structured, and so useful that I always wish I'd had one when I was preparing for the test. We put a lot of effort into creating it and making sure it's useful for all IELTS students, regardless of their English level. All the information in the book is presented in a clear, easy to understand way, with lots of pictures and colors to make it pleasant to read. It also has a lot of practical exercises which allow you to improve your writing skills and, most importantly, your grammar. You can easily download it in one click and start using it right away. Whenever you have a spare minute, you can just sit down and do one exercise or read one chapter at a time. It has synonym lists and paraphrasing practice, which, as you can see, is a must for the IELTS writing section. It also explains the most common mistakes students make and how to avoid them, which again makes me regret that I didn't have one when I was an IELTS student. And as I said, you don't need to read long, boring texts, as most of the information we give there is structured in tables, checklists, or diagrams. You can easily download it. The link is in the description below. The name of the book is Mastering the IELTS Test Prep Guide. Check it out. You won't regret it. Meanwhile, please let me know in the comments if you like this new format and if you want me to publish more videos like this one on the channel. If you did like it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next episode. I wish you all the best of luck, and remember, scoring high on the IELTS is not an impossible feat. You can do it. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.